What's going on, guys? Spencer Clays here. I'm out here with Adam Chapman, all the way from Ottawa, Canada. He's going to show you how you can make 30 grand this year with Christmas lights.
Not only 30 grand, but we're going to do 30 grand in just 30 days because Christmas lights is unlike any other home service that you'll be offering. As Spencer mentioned, I'm all the way from Ottawa, Canada. I'm the CEO of Pad Pal. I've been doing it for 7 years now. Multiple crews on the road, and we do a variety of services. We do window cleaning, gutter cleaning, seal coating, but by far our #1 service and my favorite service is full service holiday lighting. And when I'm saying full service, guys, you're providing turnkey holiday lighting displays. You're not using junk hardware store lights, you're using commercial grade lights, just like the ones behind me here that we're gonna jump into in a minute, and you're providing a beautiful holiday lighting displays. It's not a service anymore, guys. You're providing an experience. So what we're gonna go through today is a couple tips on the Christmas lights, why I love the service, a little bit more about it, and then we're gonna jump into your equipment, as well as how to install in this house here behind me. Like I said, we do a lot of Christmas lights every single year at my company. Our average ticket last year was $1,400. So I hope you caught your attention with that. We're gonna jump into things right now. You are not hanging other people's lights. You're gonna be using lights just like this behind me, commercial lights. Reason being is that these kind of lights can be all custom cut to fit the customer's house. Full service Christmas light done by Pad Pal. Look how beautiful that is. Everything's perfectly inlined, looks beautiful. That is a $1,400 job right there. Whereas you compare it to hardware store lights that the homeowner done, it's not even comparable, right? So now that we're on the same page of that, it's an experience that you're providing for people. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna jump into the equipment first. So we have the fundamentals, the absolute bare necessities to get started. So what we have here, this is the spool, and then this right here is where the lights are gonna be going into. And then you'll notice here that these are the C9. This is the type of light you're gonna be using, is a C9 LED light. Can't go to the hardware store and buy something like this that is being done bulb by bulb. We got our reds right here and our warm white. So here's a pro tip, guys. Warm white is the #1 color that you're gonna go. Don't go bright white, it is warm white. That is that classic Christmas color, is that warm white right here. We have our extension wire, and again, you'll notice that this is all able to be cut. We have our female plugs like this, like a little makeup channel. Hopefully that zooms in all right. Got our female plugs. We have our male plugs right here, and then we have our snips. Back at our office in Ottawa, Canada, we have a few different extra things to kind of take it to the next level, like timers, and we have our clips right here. Again, we forgot to pack clips and send them across the country, so we picked these up. These are not the best style of clips, so everything you want to use, guys, is commercial grade. When we're presenting the quote to the client, like I said, it is an experience. Instead of just saying, oh yeah, we'll hang your Christmas lights. That is not how to do it, and that is not how you're gonna make $1,400 per job. You're not selling the lights to the customer, guys, you are leasing them out. So what I'm telling you is $1,400, that is leasing out the light. So they're paying it year after year. We sign anything from a 1-year agreement all the way up to 3-year agreements, and we might actually introduce 5-year agreements this year. So I love it because it's high ticket and it's recurring. People pay a premium price for that beautiful look. It's the holidays, people want to have a great experience. First thing we're gonna do is teach you guys how to quote it, really high level. We'll jump into more in depth. First thing I'm gonna do is give me my iPad, please, here. So I'm gonna step back from the house here. First thing I'm doing, I'm just gonna be taking a photo of the house, and now I'm gonna airdrop that to the iPad. You wanna make sure that airdrop is on, Spencer, for me. We have our photo in here. We're gonna take it, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna import my photo here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna frame the photo, first thing I'm doing. Cool, and then I'm also gonna turn down the brightness, and you'll see why in a second. Okay, cool, and now we're gonna go photo, strand, and now this is ready to go. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna zoom in, and what we're doing right now is doing the display. We're gonna ask the customer, hey, what color lights do you want? We can do red, red, white. You can do any single color, bulb by bulb, customized display. People pay a premium for that. And these lights are much brighter, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on it, and you're gonna be tracing the house line. And again, we go have a lot more stuff in depth on the exact, how to design it better, how to like present it better, but for a high level overview, we're gonna come in here and we're just gonna draw out the mapping. Okay, cool. And then we're gonna hit small bulbs, take off the scatter, and then you can adjust your spacing, and we're gonna do red and white because we have red and white lights here. So we're gonna do red, one white, one red, one white, one red. And then you go here, colors, white, red, bang. And then once that's on there, you're gonna hit add strand again. We're gonna come over here. We're gonna act as if it's our first time doing it and keep it nice and simple. And we'll even maybe do the eyebrows for him today too, depending on how much time we have. So now you guys can see here that we have the good mock-up display. And what I would do before I show it to the client, I'd take a screenshot. I'm gonna zoom it in like this, save the photos, bang. And now what I would have done on Google Earth, or I'd measure it out, I would have my footage. We're charging anywhere from $8 to $12 per foot for leasing the lights out. Again, that depends on how long their contract's gonna be, etc. That's what the client's house is gonna look like when they're done. I would go up, I'd present it to the client, I would show them how nice the lights are, compared to like a hardware store light, show it to them, they're all excited. Now that we know what we're gonna be doing, we're gonna start putting the lights in. So the first thing we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna take our spool out. There is quite a bit of untangling in Christmas lights, but the other thing that's nice about commercial lights is these are still way easier to work with once you know how to use it properly than store-bought lights.
This is 150 feet of lights. That's typically like the standard amount, or like how many feet is the average house?
That's a great question, Spencer. So on average, it's fair to say 120 feet, again, depending on the house and stuff like that. For us back at PadPal, like I said, it's a recurring service agreement that customers are leasing. Once you've done this job once, you're gonna mark it up, make sure that you know where everything goes, and then next year you don't have to deal with any of this sort of stuff. What we're gonna be doing, like that mock-up display showed, one white, one red. So what I'm gonna do here now is I'm just gonna start screwing them in. So you have the C9 bulb, and here's how you can see the difference between store-bought lights. You can't do this. Store-bought lights, they come in set distances, right? So you see right here, this might be like 4 feet, 6 here. You can't go to the store and say, hey, I want a 18-foot strand of lights. They're coming in 10 feet, 25 feet, 50 feet, etc.
So you can cut it to size, cut it to
yes,
there,
exactly. So you'll see that people do the run of lights. Let's say it's 30 feet. They have an extra 10 feet of lights. They start wrapping around their gutters. It looks absolutely trash.
So how long do these lights typically last, like compared to store-bought lights?
Great question again, Spencer. So a commercial grade light like this, we have some of these customers that these lights will last for 5 years, where store-bought lights, again, I learned a lot of these lessons the hard way so you guys don't have to, is a lot of these store-bought lights, you can pull them right out of the box right away, they don't work. It's a bit of an investment to start with, but it is much more affordable than using store-bought lights and replacing them every year. So what Spencer and I are doing right now is just taking our C9 bulb and we're just screwing it in like that. You want to make sure that it's snug, but it doesn't have to be too tight. So my first year doing Christmas lights, we did $67,000 in sales. We did a variety of selling the commercial grade lights, and then we would install them the following years for less money, which is a huge mistake I made. Or we were hanging customers' lights, which is another huge mistake because it's literally an embarrassment to your business. Like, it looks so bad. We'll do about 250K this year in Christmas lights alone. And leased out Christmas lights, we do 50% deposit right when they sign the deal. And then we say, okay, cool, we take the deposit. Huge for you guys that are up and new and starting your business, might not have good cash flow. You take a 50% deposit because you say, hey, everything is custom cut to fit your home. We use this to order the lights in. Yeah, so there's a bunch of different ways you can mark holiday lighting, and people that have been following me for a while know that I'm a big believer in keeping your customer data and then running an email campaign. We'll do like Christmas in July, early bird. You can do something like that. But if you're brand new offering this service and you have never had a business before, Facebook ads, like you could start running a Facebook ad September, October, like start it early. And as soon as we're done stringing these in, then we're gonna go up and start installing them. Sweet, so we have all of our bulbs strung in. Remember on the design, we did red and white. Everything's good to go. And we have the end of our line here. What you need to do, this is again, another learning lesson. This is gonna be a live wire when it's plugged in. So you wanna be putting females. You're always gonna be using more females than males. Like when you're ordering your lights at the beginning of the year, always order extra females because you need them for the jump lines, you need them for the end of the lines, etc. When you run out of females, you can't do jobs. And that's, again, happened to me before. So we have our female here. This is gonna be our end line. And then what we're gonna do before we go up on the ladder, and you could always pre-cut it. Like again, this is very long. We don't need all these. So what we'll do here is like, we'll just take up a bunch of extra because we have plenty of footage here. And I'm just gonna wrap it up like this so it's nice and clean. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go up on the roof once it's kind of wrapped up. We might snip it off in a minute here so that we don't have to bring all this extra slack up with us. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this bucket up, and in here is our extension wire. We're gonna have our clips. Guys, I'm sorry for the video. We're using these clips because that's all Spencer had at his shop, but this right here is the definition of the absolute worst clip you could use. And also in here we have our jump line. We're gonna bring our snips with us, and then we're gonna... No, you don't need electrical tape. And again, normally if we were gonna be reinstalling this house because we're shooting for the video, you'd be wanting to label it, right? And this is something that's not even, it's too complicated to explain in a YouTube video. What we would do is we would label everything. So I'd be like 1R, and then when we take it down next year, we know that this is 1R. and then you go up. So let's say this house is gonna take us, you're with me, so it'll take us like 40 minutes to do this. But let's say it was a new guy, it takes them three hours the first year to do it. When you take the lights down, if they're properly labeled, you have a photo on the box, you have the customer's name, it's going up the next year in like a third of the time, and you're charging the same amount of money. So we're now we're up on the roof, and as you guys can see, we cut this. So what Spencer's gonna do for me now is he's gonna get me a female clip. You don't want to have these live, guys, because again, very unlikely, but when this is plugged in, if the metal's sticking out and it touches something, we'll do a little zap. These will never like cause an issue, but again, you always want to be safe. Some people do electrical tape to try to save the 25 cents, but at Pad Pal, we do things right. So we're gonna put a female clip on it for 25 cents versus saving that and looking a little bit shitty having electrical tape. Put a female on the end. And what we're doing for the females, guys, you have your line right here. And this as well, my guys back home packed this. This was another learning lesson for me. This wire here is pretty thick. So this is called SPT2 wire. You'd want to use SPT1. It's much easier to work with than SPT2. This is supposed to be more durable, but essentially just a thicker plastic. So SPT wire, ideally SPT1. You're taking your female plug here. I'm gonna be pushing it down and then I'm pushing it over. So what that's doing is on the female plug, you see there's two little teeth on it. Yeah. What that does is that's how the electrical current goes through the wire. So if you look on the, you won't be able to see it on camera, that's how it's piercing the wire, going like this, plugging in like that. You wanna make sure that the front outlet works, right? If that outlet doesn't work, then you wanna find the outlet before you start going crazy. We forgot to film that.
Talk to the homeowner too, make sure, like, hey, if you need to turn this one on, talk to them, see what's up.
Yeah, and then again, we always do timers as well. Right, so we normally would have a timer here, set it for dawn, dusk, or hours. Just simple timers, better than the crazy ones. But now we're ready to start hanging. So what you'll notice here, really good learning lesson, is that this is a peak, right? So if we're gonna hang it on a gutter, for example, we just put the clip in. I'll show you guys for video. So if we were gonna hang this on the gutter, all we would do is put it on like this, like that, and then you'd be putting it in like this. So that's what you'd be doing for the gutter, but what are you gonna do on a shingle? And sometimes you can go under with a staple gun, looks really good because it'll put the light down. But what we're gonna do here is I'm just gonna take my clip, I'm gonna put on the shingle like that. And then what you're doing with your light here is just pushing it in, bang, like that. And then I'm gonna take another clip. Another thing that's really helpful to have is a big tool belt. My guys will put in their tool belts. You'll be coming home at the end of the day with clips all over the place. You'll have females in your pockets. You'll have female plugs on your dressers. As long as there's not extra females in your bedroom when you have a girlfriend, right, boys? And then we're putting them in like this here. Just taking my clip. We're gonna go like this. We're just taking that side here, sliding it underneath the shingle a little bit like that, and then sliding it in. And when you're putting it in, you'll see on the clips as well.
You do facing down versus up?
Yeah, facing down. On the peaks and everything facing down, and on gutters you're facing up. Very good question. Gutters point out, peaks point down. It's gonna put more lighting on the house, accent its features, right? The peaks of the house, that's a feature, right? That it's not just for, it's just for aesthetics. It looks good, that's why you're highlighting the house's features. And then on the clip here, you'll see, guys, that when I'm putting the wire in, you'll see that there's little ledges in here. Again, you're not gonna be able to really see that well on camera, but you wanna make sure that the wire's in there. And then what we're doing is you're just kind of holding your line out. Okay, where's that light gonna go? Slide the clip under. Again, thank you, Spencer, for bringing the clips, but now we're gonna keep going like that along the peaks, and you guys are gonna have a really good learning lesson when we get to the peak at the middle here. So, and now this is a really important detail, and this is how you're charging a premium price compared to the average Joe, is you wanna peak your peaks. Okay guys, so you can see here how we're a little bit off. So what I would do in this circumstance is you can either put an extra one like this, or you wanna try to slide everything up a little bit so that that peak right here is straight down, right? So ideally we're going like this and we're peaking it in. So if we could move everything down a little bit, see what I mean by these clips there, bud? And you're gonna go like this, on the peak like that, and then you're gonna go here. And again, if my guys had the lights properly, we had all of our supplies, we would have, and we were in a rush to get to the airport, we would have started with the peak. And then if we had our electrical tape here with us and our labels, what I would do is put a little electrical tape here with the peak logo, just like this on the electrical tape. So you know that that's the peak. So next year, you know, okay, cool, this would be first floor, middle peak, right here. And now you can see that's perfectly down the middle, that's professional. We don't want one here, it looks sloppy. We're gonna go finish this wrap right here. So this is why people pay the big bucks, is because they don't see lights hanging all over the place. You've seen examples of how looks when lights are draining everywhere. What we're doing now is called a jump line. So we have a male on this end right here. Can you see this male on what we have here? And then on the end of this line right here, we have a female. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna untangle this quickly, and then I'm gonna take my jump line from here, and this is where you gotta be professional. You don't have the cord hanging in the air that looks like shit, and if you're somewhere where it snows, snow drift comes down and can pull the lights. So what I would do here is I'm gonna plug it in, and I'd have my guys with a little bit of hot glue. Because this is wet, I put a little dab of hot glue. Again, it comes off fine, no one comes up here and looks anyways. Couple dabs, hide the wire, we're gonna do male, and to a male on that end here. So got the light here, take it like out like this, and then just going to do my jump line. And then all we have to do is then I'm gonna go in that corner, drop a male down, plug it in, we're done. Right here, just go right here, right here, right here, just be safe. Cool, throw a male on here.
Oh, this is SP2. This is a lot thinner, huh? It's a lot easier to work with.
Yeah, this was SP2-1, yeah, so it's way easier. You can feel the difference, eh?
Yeah.
So you go plug that up in there for me. Here, I can just pass it up too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 2-man crew. We could start with
Here, let's go. Boom, it's done. It's basically done now. We're done. But we're on the last piece right now. So what I'm gonna do, we have that plug on the end. You guys remember that left side of the house? What we're doing now is just gonna go from our last peak to our power. Power meaning the outlet. So all I'm gonna do now is take this male plug, same thing as always, put it in, bend it over like that. We're back in Ottawa. We were running out of light and I was gonna miss my flight, so we weren't able to film the outro. I hope you guys got a ton of value from this video. Whether you're starting your first business or adding holiday lighting to your existing home service company, I strongly encourage you guys to check out the links below. There's tons of helpful resources there, as well as we're running a 30K and 30-day holiday lighting challenge. And also, don't forget to subscribe.